Hello, everyone. It's around 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, July 7th. Just logging in to tell you guys about the first of this week's labs. The lab that we're doing is physical pendulum. I want to go ahead and share my screen so I can talk a little bit about it. So, sharing my screen, and specifically, I want to show this one. So this is the lab that's been placed in your module for this week. This is week 8, by the way, from July 6th to July 12th. And this is the lab you would do if you were in class. And actually, it turns out to be exactly the same lab you're going to do not in class, only we're giving you the data and we've given you a video showing you how we got the data. So the general principle is anything can act like a pendulum. If you hang a certain thing, even for instance, my cell phone, if I hang that, is acting like a pendulum, right? So that's sort of the nature of it. Anything can actually act as a pendulum as long as you attach it to a rotational point somewhere other than the dead center of mass of the object. If you put it at the center of mass of the object, then it just would freely rotate until it gets into some equilibrium state, but it wouldn't necessarily swing back and forth like this. And if it did, it would only do for a couple seconds. So, if you have some distance other than zero from the center of mass, and that's the pivot point for your object, then letting that object pivot by pulling the center of mass from directly below the axis, pull it out to the right or push it out to the left, either one, that will cause it to go into what we call simple harmonic motion, which is not unlike the motion of a pendulum. The period of a pendulum in general is 2 pi times the square root of L over G. But for a physical pendulum, you have to work out the equations using the moment of inertia of the object. And in this case, for instance, the object is just a rod because it's a meter stick, and an actual rectangular rod, if you will. So we've worked out the center of mass with regards to that and put all that into this formula. And your job is to check that this is in fact consistent with the period of a pendulum. Uh, so location of center mass, they actually tell you that on the video. I think it was 49.2 centimeters. Normally you would require 2 decimal places on any measurement made with a meter stick, but in that case it looked like it was not that easy to make the measurement with regards to the where the little hanger is. So it was probably just executive decision to go ahead and just treat it as 1 decimal place. But just remember, in all your labs and in general, unless there's something weird going on with the experiment, you should be able to estimate to 2 decimal places when you're measuring with a meter stick in centimeters, because it's marked in millimeters, which would be 1 decimal place, and then you can estimate the next digit, which would be a second decimal place. So, anyways, this is the lab that we're supposed to be doing, and the procedures, they spell them all out here, and then Dr. Wright actually goes through the procedures in the video. You're going to put the data in here. Of course, this is data you're entering, so remember, you're never supposed to put in any typed font that's black. It needs to be some color other than black so I can know what part you put into the manual. Same thing everywhere. When you answer a question, when you work out a calculation or whatever, anything that you do typed that you add to this document, which this is what you're supposed to do, is add the stuff to the document and then turn it in as a PDF after it's completely filled in. But anything that you typed in there must be some color other than black so that I can immediately tell that that was a part that you added as opposed to a part that was originally in the lab report. Here's the analysis. They tell you how to use Excel and stuff like that. Or in this case, I think we ended up using, no, they did use Excel. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Sometimes you use Logger Pro, and they did give us a link for you to download Logger Pro. But anyways, this is the lab that you're going to conduct, and I wanted to show you what the addendum for it is. So here's the physical pendulum addendum. It's our lab 11, I mean 10, not 12, but everything still says 12, so just ignore that. But view the video to see how the data was gathered. The lab will be the same as indicated in the lab book, except you will use the data below, and they just gave us the distance being 6. They got 2.4208, 2.135, so on and so forth. And notice they didn't put the center of mass of the meter stick in here because you get that from the video. So now I'm going to show you what the video looks like. And this is the physical pendulum video, which you'll see in our module for the lab. but you just start watching this after you click on it. So let me go to that module real quickly. So we're looking at week 8 lab module, which lecture module hasn't been put up yet, but that'll come up today. So don't freak if you haven't seen it yet. Here we are, lab. That's week 10. That's not it. Lab 7. There it is. So here's the physical pendulum video. Here's the actual document that you're supposed to fill in, and here's the addendum that I just showed you that gives you the data you're going to put in, except for, of course, the center of mass. And like always, this is the way you turn it in. I have not yet put in the instructions on here, but if you need to be refreshed to what the instructions is on a lab report, in addition to the thing that I've been telling you about, was one, you're supposed to have your name on the first page, and if you have no partner, you should put no partner or partners equal not applicable or partners colon not applicable. And if you used a partner, then you're supposed to put partners and then list the partner's name. So make sure you do that, and then make sure any typed font that you put into this document before turning it in, that typed font is in a color other than black. And it should be easy to tell that it's not black. Like if you use a blue that's so dark that I can't tell it's blue, then that's not going to help me any. So keep that in mind. But again, if you can't find these instructions, if you don't recall the instructions off the top of your head, you can go back. Probably the last one I did was maybe nonlinear graphing one, so you might be able to look in there or one of the other ones because I did take the time to put those instructions into most of them. I just haven't done this one yet. So that's it. That's the lab for this week. Wanted to also be here in case anybody had any office hour requests. Do remind everybody that I do show up here at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. I show up here at 8 a.m. on Thursdays, and that's generally just for labs. And of course, if we have a lab according to our, or if we have a week according to our syllabus in which we only have one lab, then you only have one of those days, Tuesday or Thursday, depending on how it's set up. So just keep that in mind. I did change the order a little bit of what labs we're doing, but we have this. I have decided to do the physical pendulum this week. So I think that's it. I would normally ask anybody if they had any questions, but there's no one here today, so I'm just talking to myself. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and tell you folks to have a good day. Bye bye. Oh, by the way, I am almost finished grading your tests. They should be posted. About 5 or 6 of them already been posted, maybe 7. The rest should be posted today. So have a good day, everyone. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.